Welcome back, everyone. My name is Yu, and today is going to be a very unusual video for me because I've never had the pleasure of doing so before, but given that this special character is now on my character list and friendship 4, I think it's time for me to do a deep dive into her voice lines, especially the Harbingers. Because I am very curious what she is about to say and if some questions of ours are going to be answered here, which I doubt it. There's still a mystery of the 10th Harbinger, there's still... We can get a confirmation about their ranking in their voice lines, which happened with Scaramouche, I believe. But without any further rambling, let's just go into it. We'll go through everything. Well, not everything because some is still locked, but that's fine. I'm not gonna wait.
I am the knave, Arlecchino, fourth of the Fatui Harbingers.
That's right, you are.
The children of the House of the Hearth call me Father.
That's right, they do.
I do hope our partnership proves to be a pleasant one, although I would imagine that should be fairly easy. After all, there's no cause for contention between us at the moment. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I remember how how happy I was to hear that voice line during my pools.
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
That is interesting. I don't know what she means by that. Because it sounds like if you look into her eyes, you're going to get some visions, or you're just going to get scared or whatever. I don't know. I'll have to read into that in her stories, but that's not now. Right now we're only focusing on the voice lines. Or maybe I will do the voice lines and later I will do this story reading and I'll combine them. I don't know. We'll see.
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please.
Fathering.
Something you wish to report? Go on. You have my undivided attention.
Yeah, so I've heard these once already during the overworld exploration. Now that's some interesting stuff. Let's see.
Fear not. What's a little thunder when even lightning wouldn't dare strike our path?
Damn. Damn. Was that a diss at Raiden? She's like, oh, you wouldn't dare. Damn.
Only in the grip of winter do people truly appreciate the warmth of flames.
That's why I was always convinced that the House of the Hearth was located in Snezhnaya itself. Because we've always had that image of hearth, of bonfire, of warmth and flames. It would make a lot of sense to make that place, House of the Hearth, more welcoming, more heartwarming when it's blazing snow outside the windows and there's this hearth inside the house where you can gather around with your siblings, you know? That's why I had that kind of impression of the house. Well, of course it wasn't just fun and games, but generally speaking.
This kind of weather is more enjoyably spent under the cover of shade.
Yeah, that's something you share with Neverletts too. She's like, I want to go into the shadows. And Neverletts like, I'd rather be at home. Thank you. Same.
I would advise you to keep your secrets close to your chest. Divulge them too easily, and you never know where the wind might carry them.
That is interesting. That is interesting. That also sounds like a disadvantage. But also showcases her secrecy. She's so secretive that she doesn't trust even the wind. Fascinating.
Good morning. Any plans for today?
I'm sorry.
Good morning. Good morning. Any...
I think I found my new alarm.
Whenever I return home at midday, I often find the children sprawled across the ground in the midst of sleep. A certain level of fatigue is common at this hour. Perhaps you too should rest a bit before we head out.
Head out? Interesting. Do you mean head out during the night? At the nightfall? Or...
It is said that the moon is like an eye, gazing down upon the mortal plane. We have merely grown accustomed to its scrutiny.
Huh, that's interesting, wait.
It is said that the moon is like an eye, gazing down upon the mortal plane. We have merely grown accustomed to its scrutiny.
That is... scary. Her talking about the moon makes me go different places. Because that could mean so much and so little at the same time. That the lore. I cannot make heads or tails of it, but I just know that giant eyeball. That's it.
Time to retire for the night. It is time to retire for the night. Oh, can't sleep, you say?
Yeah?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to figure something out for yourself.
Damn.
I have a certain suspicion my solution won't be to your liking.
Something tells me that she's not gonna give me some warm milk and cookies. Her solution might be a little more permanent. But knowing how she put that guy to sleep, maybe it will be to my liking. We'll see.
Seeing yourself clearly is a difficult task indeed.
You
Perhaps
tell me.
even a thankless one. After all, they say those who lack adequate powers of self-perception often lead a happier existence.
I don't know about that. Those who lack adequate powers of self-perception often lead a happier existence. I don't know. That's something I'll have to talk about with my therapist.
On occasion, I hear others whisper in secret, calling me cold and cruel. People are free to believe as they wish.
This is something you were
And
going for.
I don't intend to clear up their misconceptions. Prejudice
as you are.
has a way of concealing the truth, and that is hardly to my disadvantage. Still, I believe the time has come for certain measures to be taken to live up to their expectations.
Damn.
Let's just hope those on the receiving end of these measures have enough power and status to escape with their lives.
Damn. She's such a savage. I love it. Oh my god. She does not give two fucks.
For the long... Our ideals are not entirely aligned. If we are to work together, we must be willing to compromise. To that
True.
end, I'm willing to share certain secrets with you.
Ooh.
Information that I choose not to reveal, however, is best left unexplored. For your own good, of course.
Okay, I will... This is a very interesting topic that we could dive into. I will just touch on it just a little. But that is very fair of her to say. The best example that this level of trust is needed, let's say, was in the Fontaine conquest. You know? The whole plan, Voicelines' plan, was so that everyone doesn't know a thing. Farina was trying to win the trust and make everyone believe in her without revealing all her secrets. That was the whole plan. She couldn't slip up. That's a situation where you just have to leave something unexplored. But it was a moment of crisis and we had to do something because we didn't know what to do and just couldn't stand by. We didn't have that trust in Farina. There wasn't that established connection. However, we have a mutual level of trust between us and Arlecchino, I would say. Because since the very beginning, our private conversations were very trustworthy, or something of the sort. She has been very straight and truthful with us. And of course, we can never be sure whether or not she tells us the truth or not. But after a couple of encounters with her, I've come to understand her manner of delivering information. So, me personally, I would trust her. And if she says that there is something that's best left unknown, you know, I'm gonna believe her. I'm gonna believe her. It's gonna depend on the situation, though. So, we'll see.
For the longest time, there wasn't anything I desired, until the idea came to me to assassinate Crucibina. It was a ludicrous thought then. She was a harbinger, famed and experienced, and nearly everything I knew about fighting was taught by her hand. However, it appears you need only desire something with sufficient intensity and the gods will answer. In the end, I gained a vision, and after making certain sacrifices, I mastered this power. Surpassing one's teacher often requires the pursuit of the unexpected.
Okay. That is still very confusing. Does that mean she did not have her powers before she gained a vision? She had only the curse that wasn't anything related to Pyro? Huh. That still wouldn't explain why she is so powerful with her vision. It's definitely not just a vision. It's some outsider power. That has to do with Conria. That is very interesting to think about where her power comes from. It's definitely not just a vision. But the vision could somehow make it stronger. Or maybe the power of a vision combined with the curse resulted in this. I really don't know. That is still a mystery.
Flames course through my body like blood. This may be nothing but a figure of speech to some, but for me, It's the harsh reality of my existence.
Damn. You know, that's kind of funny and interesting. That flame course through the body like blood. Usually means like boiling blood and just the feeling of rage, anger, or determination. But she's so repressive. She has no qualities of a usual pyro character that's so enthusiastic. She's so withholding with her emotions. You will never be able to tell that her blood is boiling. Huh. Kind of ironic. Aurora.
The aurora in Snezhnaya is quite beautiful. Certainly worth a visit.
That's heartwarming. That is heartwarming. To know that there is something like so close to her and also so to her liking. She didn't care for Aurora when she was in Fontaine, but when she heard about it from Clairvy, and when she saw it, she was able to fully appreciate its beauty.
I once had a pet spider named Bambi. Raising spiders is quite fascinating. They cannot be domesticated like cats or dogs. Any affection bestowed upon them will not be returned, and they require little investment in terms of care.
True.
It's the kind of relationship that suits me perfectly.
You hear, guys? She doesn't want a high level of affection. Damn, I guess we are not meant for each other. I'm sorry, Father. I'm not gonna shower you with my affection anymore. It's not gonna be returned anyway. Alright, now we get to the interesting part, and it's about other characters. So, let's see. Before we get into Harbingers, we still, of course, get the Fontaine cast, which is her children and some more interesting people. Okay, what do you think of Linny?
Clairvy once asked me what a real home looks like, but I had no answer for her. How could any of us know the answer when the House of the Hearth is made up entirely of people who never had a place to call home?
That's exactly what he said.
By killing Crucibina, I was able to assume the identity of father and rebuild the house under a new set of rules. Still, I'm well aware that even with these efforts, the house is far from that ideal. As for what a real home truly looks like, I suppose that question is best put to the side for now. Perhaps one day, Linny will be able to give me a new answer.
That is so sweet. Yeah, that is exactly what was going on in her quest, in her story quest. Linny was able to stand his ground by speaking about the true home, the true family, what the true family is. That is his conviction, that is his determination, that's what he wants to achieve. He wants them to be a real family. And that's what she appreciates about him.
Lynette's uniquely calm personality is also her strength, and I believe she is more than clever enough to recognize that. She's an irreplaceable part of that little team of 3, and I would imagine that role brings her much joy.
True.
As her father, my duty is merely to give her the space to put those talents to good use.
Fair enough. Real recognizes real.
Fremine has a complex mind and often hides his emotions. He blames himself for things that aren't his doing and allows them to eat away at his conscience. I would imagine the other children might find it difficult to understand his manner of thinking. But you seem to share a similar delicate sensibility. Perhaps you two would make good friends.
That's cool how she noticed the resemblance and felt like, okay, I need to make a friend for my friend Mine out of you. That's interesting. Similar delicate sensibility. That is true. The Traveler was able to show empathy to a lot of people on their journey. They are very empathetic.
Monsieur Nervalette intentionally maintains a certain distance in professional and private settings.
Does he have
Many
a
say
private
this makes
setting?
him cold and unfeeling, but I believe the truth is just the opposite. In order for all beings to be treated equally under the law, a certain level of emotional distance is expected. Maintaining that kind of indifference is in itself a demonstration of kindness.
Again, real recognizes real plus appreciation of Nevelet. Even though she has told her children that he could be trouble, she still thinks highly of him. That is good. Farina. This is gonna be interesting. Who's that?
I asked Linny to deliver an assortment of cakes for her theater troupe to enjoy during tea time.
Really?
The children made the cakes themselves, as a gesture
Aww.
to express the support and enthusiasm of her audience. I do hope she enjoys them.
Why is that so sweet? Both figuratively and literally. Huh. That's interesting that she hasn't emphasized anything about her role as the Archon and any just all of that situation. She's just like treating her as a normal person and as a good acquaintance even, and made sure to surprise her with a present. That is incredibly sweet. What the heck? Where did this come from? Freyna is probably shaking in her boots, thinking about those cakes. To eat or not to eat? That's the question. Okay, here we go. The Tsaritsa, the Jester, the Captain, so the Doctor, Damselat, we have the same order as previously. The Rooster, Marionette, Regulator, Fair Lady, Child. And nothing about the 10th Harbinger either. Okay. Let's see.
When I was imprisoned, it was the Tsaritsa who pardoned me and gave me the title of Harbinger. I could sense she was a person of true sincerity and compassion, unlike all those pompous hypocrites with their posturing and rhetoric. Yet, it's difficult to say whether her compassion alone is enough to melt the ice and snow that permeates her land. All I can say is this. If we are forced to be at odds one day, I will raise my weapon against her without hesitation.
Damn.
Because that is the greatest level of respect I am able to bestow.
Wow. That actually makes a lot of sense. But also, the others weren't wrong about her. She just... Okay. I'm switching sides now. That's interesting point of view. I will raise my weapon against her without hesitation, because that is the greatest level of respect I am able to bestow. Fascinating. That's also interesting about Tsaritsa melting the ice of her own land. That's weird. Because what we know from Dainsleif is that she doesn't have any love left for her people. So why would she want... to make her land better for her people with her sincerity and compassion? I would have thought that it would have a greater picture, not just her own country. I'm confused. Well, we shall see.
As the original Harbinger, much about him remains a mystery. Upon our first meeting, he recognized my background with ease. Yet, to this day, I know little about him.
Wow. And that says a lot. Given that Arlecchino is like a master of secrecy. Right? She's always talking about her background and info being kept hidden and others having misconceptions of her. While she gets all the info about everyone. While with Jester, with Piero, it's the other way around. He knows everything about her, yet she knows practically nothing about him. And given all of her personality and what we know about her, that says a lot about Piero. Wow. And also the original Harbinger. Click clock, click clock. Interesting. So he was a Harbinger at the time. Maybe he still is a Harbinger, but he's not a number. Maybe he's a number 0, like the OG. I don't know. Captain, oh Captain, the number 1.
He is very powerful, and
True.
that power comes with a high level of responsibility. However, I believe him to be someone worthy of respect, independent of the power he holds.
Wow. We don't get the info why, but she respects him even without his powers. That is a lot. That is like a level of Neuvillette respect. But we did get why she respects him. We don't know why she respects the captain. But we've for all this time we have been hearing how strong the captain is. He's the strongest. He's a wow. But she came from a different approach, and she said like, yeah, he's strong, he's good, but he deserves respect even without all that strength. Which also says quite a lot about his personality. That makes me excited even more about him. We shall see next year. Alright, the Doctor.
When I first took over the House of the Hearth, he proposed a number of plans for us to work together.
Yep.
He wanted me to send any rejects to him.
Yeah.
He planned to experiment on them and then share the results with me.
Yep.
I heard that he and the previous knave had quite the professional rapport in that regard.
You've heard.
All I can say is that if he weren't one of my fellow harbingers, I would have expedited their happy little reunion long ago.
Let's go! Wow, so we have another harbinger that wishes this fucker dead. Excuse my language. Whew. That means when we get to Snezhnaya, we're gonna have a team out of Tartaglia, Scaramouche, the Wanderer, the Knave, Arlecchino, and someone else, perhaps the Captain? Maybe, I don't know. The Captain was pretty chill about the Torre in the Winter Nights Lazo trailer. So I'm not sure what his thoughts on the Torre might be. But I'm pretty sure that mostly everybody hates that guy. And they just tolerate him. Because of duties. At least that's reassuring. At least we know that if anything, Arlecchino is gonna kick his ass and send him to the Shadow Realm with her domain expansion. That would be sick to see, actually. But he's number 2. Just knowing what we know about him, I have zero clue why he is this strong. Why he has the power of a god. And what that power is. And that honestly makes me terrified. I would be fine if he was like number 9 or 10. I would kick his ass. But 2? Why do the assholes get the biggest roles?
She is a very special harbinger. Pose her a question, and the answer you receive will be entirely unpredictable. If she sees fit to give a proper answer at all. Regardless, any answer you do receive is sure to be an interesting one.
What is that supposed to mean? Does she talk? Is she like Nahida, talking in riddles and analogies, or what? Is she silly? That doesn't tell much, to be honest, but certainly is intriguing, I would say.
The rooster holds little love for me, and the feeling is mutual. He is an acceptable mayor, I suppose. Perhaps even an exceptional one. He has an uncanny ability to make great gains at a small price, which has earned him substantial acclaim throughout his political circles. However small the price may be, if it continues to come at the expense of my organization, sooner or later...
I love how she just gives shade to the most of the harbingers. You love to see it. You love to see it. I'm glad that she has a great relationship with Tartaglia. And it seems like she also respects Captain. So, most likely Captain will have, like, good relationship with everyone. Relationships. Mostly, maybe. I really don't know what to expect with this guy. I wonder if she actually has a line about Scaramouche before he was erased from Irminsul. I'll have to check on that. Oh, but the rooster, the mayor... Well, they clearly don't like each other, and that's, well, obvious. It still doesn't tell us much about the rooster himself. And what kind of person he is. Because he still can be like a good guy. He can be a good guy, potentially. But just in a bad relationship with Arlecchino. So, kinda iffy. Whew, Marionette.
I have little interest in her. She's extremely passionate about her research and does not appear in public often. In fact, many of our officers have yet to see her at all.
Damn.
Compared to, let's say, someone who would go so far as to create segments of themselves to better wander across the land, I suppose you could say she is at the other end of the extreme.
Damn. Another just random shade adulatory. Nonchalant about it. Interesting. That is a new information about her. Sandrone. It would make sense if, like, she has a lot of puppets that do all the work for her, that she would just sit at home and do nothing. Or at least control everyone from the comfort of her home. But that is interesting. I'm really excited to see her because the potential with Marionette, with Sandrone, is huge, actually. Just knowing what they could do, something similar that was in Honkai Impact 3. The boss fight with the puppets. Like, the potential is crazy. I really want a boss fight with Sandrone. And I also want to know more about her. But it seems like Arlecchino does not give a crap. Everybody just trash talks her. She's nothing to them. Damn. Wow.
I won't deny that he is a capable and imaginative individual, but he lacks clarity. He can formulate grand plans and manipulate the economy with ease, yet at the same time, he allows his actions to be governed by the vengeance and hatred locked in the depths of his heart.
Whoa.
Rational people often believe themselves capable of controlling their emotions, but I believe that confidence is their greatest weakness.
True, and also real, and also interesting. There's a hatred and vengeance in him. That is new info about Regulator, Evan Pantalone, that we did not know. His image is starting to construct more. It's like this man that's always smiling and has this hatred behind his smile, gritting his teeth. That reminds me of when I saw like a comic about Yelan stealing his jacket that he was preparing for Tsaritsa. Is this what vengeance he's trying to get for the jacket? I don't think so, no. That's just too simple. But it would be funny. It would be funny. Yeah, I think we will see Regulator around some Liyue story with Yelan again. I think Yelan will return with Regulator. But from what we've known, Yelan could appear in one of the different nations too. I was thinking that potentially Fontaine would be one of them, but maybe Snezhnaya? I don't see that one, but we will see. Now, the fair lady.
She and Piero were the first harbingers I became acquainted with. Her prideful attitude when she first visited the House of the Hearth failed to earn her many friends among the children.
Wait, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Whoa. She and Piero were the first harbingers I became acquainted with. We saw that the first harbinger she met was Scaramouche, the one that she does not remember now, Signora, Captain, and Piero. Meaning that Captain is also one of those that she became... that she met at that time. But she didn't mention him, so she didn't get acquainted with him at the time, which means they were not really talkative with one another. But on the other hand, she became acquainted with Piero and Signora. Okay, I see.
She and Piero were the first harbingers I became acquainted with. Her prideful attitude when she first visited the House of the Hearth failed to earn her many friends among the children.
I can see
Subsequent visits were accompanied by gifts, and the stately claim that those who dislike me shall receive none. The children quickly learned how to play pretend, and she in turn basked in their attention. Superficial though it may have been. I imagine she quite enjoyed being surrounded by children, perhaps due to the persistent loneliness that plagued her. I found her sacrifice to be a great shame. May she be reunited with her lover in death.
Yeah, there's no shame. There's no shame in that. She's with her lover. She can rest in peace. See ya. Never knew him. Bye. But that is interesting that she feels shame about her being gone. She was arrogant, but I suppose in Arlecchino's eyes she doesn't compare with the other harbingers that act arrogantly and still, quote-unquote, never leave the comfort of their homeland, right? That act like they're all big but barely do anything, while Signora was putting in work, I suppose. Her usefulness, maybe? I don't know. About Child.
Objectively speaking, his personality is ill-suited to that of a harbinger.
True.
He often tries to think the best of others and finds himself used by them as a result. Of course, he is very talented. With time, I'm sure he'll come into his own. I see no need to judge him too early.
That is sweet. That is sweet of her. She notices his weaknesses, but also doesn't judge him for it. For them, I should say. And she genuinely wants to see him improve. Even though he was very skeptical of her, and scared. Fairly so, fairly so. But it's nice to see that she almost cares about him. You could say that. Okay. More about Arlecchino.
You wish to know more about me? Why, of course. Our relationship is one of mutual trust.
That's
There's
what
no
I'm
need
saying.
to keep things hidden. I would only inquire as to whether you're truly prepared for what you might learn. Secrets can be sharper than a knife. Innocent curiosity can lead to dangerous places.
It's not really an innocent curiosity, to be honest. It really, the answers really depend. We really depend on the answers about Kanria and everything else, so anything will be nice. Whatever it is you are willing to share, I would be delighted to learn.
The moment you wield a blade, you realize that different lives carry different weights. Some people have an air of renown and distinction, yet grovel and plead for their lives when faced with death. Their outward demeanor are nothing more than a hollow facade. Others appear unremarkable, yet carry a heavy burden within. Despite the factors that differentiate us in life, death awaits us all. The great and final equalizer.
Equality.
Cruel, you say? I merely state the truth.
As she usually does. As she usually does. She could have said some more cruel stuff, to be honest. That is merely just facts and the truth about the world.
My Snezheviches and Snezhevnas, those with the courage to walk through shadow, even when the world gets dark, and the conviction to embrace the heat, even at the risk of getting burned. I will do my utmost to teach them how to navigate life. The House of the Hearth begs favors from no one. Like a spider, we hunt for what we want.
And about that, that is awful, right? The situation of the House of the Hearth was and still is pretty shitty for what it is. But also, Arlecchino tries her best to provide all the children with the necessary skills and just all of the necessities for them to be on their best level. Not just for the sake of the missions, but for the sake of the children themselves. For them to survive this world in this place that they have found themselves in. Given that they are the children of the House of the Hearth, the assassins and all of that, the world will not treat them nicely. And it's already fucked up that they ended up in this situation. But, because Arlecchino is there, she can lessen their burden. And if they don't want that life, she gives them salvation. Even though that's like a punishment to her. And to them as well, it's also salvation to them. So she really is like an angel. Even though she is like a demon, but for them she's like an angel. Which is very grey, but also very interesting. Hobbies!
In my free time, I enjoy observing insects in the forest. The dynamics between them are fascinating. The way they hunt for food, compete with each other, even cooperate. Those that seem formidable aren't always the ones that make it until the end, and a single error can prove fatal. I observe their struggle as they near death, and slowly commit the image of their suffering to memory. Much like I do for those that fall by my own hand.
Okay. That's an interesting hobbies you got there. I want to say that they really used the part of this line for the trailer. Mixed it up with the barbecue line, which we still haven't heard. I'm guessing that the favorite foods are going to be the barbecue stuff. That's sneaky of them, sneaky.
The children often make use of words and phrases from popular vernacular that are only comprehensible among themselves, much like the code words we use during missions. Of course, children often need their own space, and I fully understand that.
She really just said, these youngsters and their slangs, I don't get it. Oh, what a father. She really is a dad. She's both father, daddy, and dad. Wow.
On occasion, we hold barbecue dinners at the house,
Yep,
and the children
figured.
prepare the ingredients themselves. They enjoy participating in activities like that, and the feeling is mutual. After all, it's always possible certain familiar faces will be missing from the crowd the next time a similar event rolls around.
Yeah, so it's much more wholesome than it was in the trailer. Because they made it sound like this barbecue party is them competing and fighting each other, just for the sake of getting some meat. Phrasing, but yeah, it's not as savage as they made it seem to be.
I dislike complex seasonings. They dull one's sense of smell and taste. Allowing the ingredients to maintain their original flavor is also a way to respect their integrity.
I sense there is a reason behind that line of thought. But sure.
I dislike
That's why I guess that's why she likes raw meat. She doesn't even cook it. Oh.
an impressive showing of culinary expertise. Perhaps
Thank
you'd be
you.
interested in teaching a cooking class at the House of the Hearth?
Ah, merci, merci. I would be delighted to.
The taste is palatable. Perhaps the children will enjoy it.
She's always thinking about the kids. Like, we made something for her, and she's like, yeah, the children might like it. I'm guessing she's gonna be her usual self, straight to the point, without sugarcoating anything. She's gonna say, that's awful, I'm not gonna give this to my kids. Go fuck yourself.
The intent is appreciated, but there is much room for improvement.
No, she actually sugarcoated that. She actually... She seemed disgusted. She almost threw up. But she made sure that we understand that our intent is appreciated by her. Wow, that is way more than I ever expected from her. That genuinely surprised me. Wow. Also, you know what I realized? I have had my birthday like a few months ago, but I kind of forgot to actually listen to the characters wishing me a happy birthday. I guess I'll have to leave it for the next year and hope that I don't forget it next time. Well, the more the merrier. I'll just skip it then, for now. What about Ascension?
Always keep moving forward. Never let yourself be constrained by power.
Never let yourself be constrained by power. Huh. That is also something that we should take note of in regards to the captain, Capitano. Because, as she put into words, with great power comes great responsibility. And given how much power Capitano has, he has a lot of responsibility. He has a great sense of responsibility. And he also doesn't let that power constrain him. He's his own person still. And that exact person she appreciates. Not just appreciates, that she respects.
Anger makes you impulsive, and sorrow causes you to waver. Always maintain control over your emotions.
Yep, that is the motto that she teaches the children. We've come to know that.
Some call me excessively strict. In truth, it is an approach I extend even to myself.
Yeah, that is just the way of life, I suppose.
I've learned much from you during this time, and I trust the sentiment is mutual.
It is
fact,
mutual.
I believe maintaining this cordial relationship might prove advantageous for us both.
Absolutely, especially in
Who knows what
Snezhnaya.
thorny issues the future holds. I imagine there may yet be many an occasion for us to join hands.
Join hands, you say? They are putting so many little crumbs that we will cooperate with Arlecchino in the future against something bigger. Be it the Harbingers, be it the Doctor, be it the Piero or Tsaritsa. Or, hell, Celestia. The Abyss. It really sounds like she's going to be an endgame character that we will see at the end of the game. Most likely, most likely. I mean, she has the sufficient power to compare with the gods, too. Kind of. Even though she's not top 3, but still. Well, let's see also some of these. I have heard most of them, but...
Transfixed! Overruled! Laid bare! This is where you fall. Witness my rise!
Witness my rise. Damn. Rise of the moon.
Everlasting as the moon!
Okay.
What greater pleasure is there than the unexpected? An impressive bounty.
Yeah.
Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Yeah, we've seen all these. Now, I haven't heard these, so...
Commendable.
Respectable.
My turn.
Is it my turn now?
Oh, wanted my full attention, did you?
Yeah, that's good, okay.
Step back.
Fair.
New strategy.
Also fair. No disrespect, nothing. Skirmish.
The hearth is now extinguished.
That is fitting. That is fitting. At least she prepared the kids for that extinguishment. Hopefully this won't rise any red flags. Any death flags, I mean. For her in the future.
I hear the children singing.
That is creepy. That is creepy to be dying and at your death's door, hearing the children singing. That is terrifying. Hello? They came to haunt you. That is absolutely terrifying. I do not want to let you die ever again because of that.
This shall not be my fate.
Fate. Again. Fate. Oh, yeah, interesting. This shall not be my fate. She proclaimed, "This shall not be my fate," and she ate an fried egg. There we go, boys. We changed the fate. The fate was changed. The answer was right in front of us all along.
Pitiful.
Okay.
Go on.
Oh. Oh. Like that. Okay. If you say so.
No need to fret. I shall handle this.
Thank you, Father.
An insurmountable problem, I presume? This will be a productive partnership, I hope.
Well, there's no need to hope, because we know that it will be a very productive partnership with us. Whew. So, that is pretty much it for today. I'm extremely excited to see Arlecchino in the future. We have a lot of crumbs that this definitely will happen. I'm sure of it. I just don't know when and in which circumstances. I'm also wondering if we're gonna get any events including Arlecchino in them. And not just like Ayaro and Yaemiko style, where she just comes from the shadows and says, I knew everything, but like actually interact with other characters. That would be interesting to see. And I am excited for that as well. So, for the end, I'm just gonna show how my things are doing with Arlecchino, because relatively soon I'm going to actually switch to her powerful mode, activate her constellations, give her her signature, because her signature is level 90 already. I've farmed. Her artifacts are decent, they are okay. Like, these are the sub-stats. These are her stats in general, but with the signature it's gonna be at more than 50%, which is okay, which is fine. Her artifacts are still gonna have to do some work, though. C2 constellations are not activated yet, and 887. I want to go at full 888, and then I will 100% triple crown her, because I have invested so much of my Primo Gems into her, and it would be a waste not to max her out. You know? I'm just gonna max her out completely and see where this goes. I also would like to actually have C6 Chivalrous for my Arlecchino, because it would boost her up so much. It would mean, like, a lot. But we're going to see, we're going to have to see. I'm very disappointed that she wasn't on the banner, but... oh well, oh well. Hopefully Chivalrous is not going to be on the next banner, but she's going to be on Chlorand, because I am going to be pulling for Chlorand. I really want Chlorand. I don't know. I don't know if will be able to pull for her, because I've literally spent everything I had on this woman. Look at her. She knows what she did. And she doesn't feel bad for it. Well, anyway. Thank you all for joining me on this little video of mine that I decided to do. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace!